I don't care what you say, we're gonna make you a gold farm. What is up, guys? It is Farzy here, and today I'm gonna teach all of you how to make a very simple yet effective gold farm. Before we start, let's be clear. This is not some gigantic industrial gold farm. This is a simple yet efficient gold farm. If you want something really big, go somewhere else. But if you want a small gold farm just for one person, this works great. So here's the blocks you're going to need. You're going to need magma blocks, trapdoors, turtle eggs, and a building block like stone or netherrack. If you're confused why I chose magma blocks, here's why. We're going to be killing zombie piglins to farm our gold, so we want the most efficient way to spawn them as possible. Well, magma blocks only allows for two kinds of mobs to spawn on it: zombie piglins and ghasts, which makes this a perfect block to use in a piglin farm. Additionally, turtle eggs do something similar. They're going to make zombie piglins attracted to it. Piglins are going to chase that turtle egg and try and stomp on it, so that's like our bait. It's also worth noting the efficiency of your farm depends on how many of these blocks you have. So if you want it to be more efficient, get more blocks. Very simply. Once you got all those blocks, let's go to the nether. Next up, you want to find a nether wastes biome. It looks just like this. No new blocks, no new 1.16 stuff. It's just like the old nether. If you're unsure where you are, press F3 and look at your biome. If you're having trouble finding this biome, let's use a helpful command, and that is called the /locate biome command. Then type in nether wastes, and you see it right there, and boom, you get some coordinates. Now this next part is extremely important, so please listen up, okay? You're gonna want to get to the nether roof. If you're confused what this means, just go up as high as you can in your nether waste biome until you hit bedrock. Now once you find this bedrock, we want to get above it. So if you're in creative mode, just break the bedrock and just fly up here. But if you're in survival, there's a helpful tactic using ladders and ender pearls. And what you have to do is place down a ladder right before that top piece of bedrock and throw an ender pearl into the corner, and then you jump and boom, I'm up here. Hold on, big disclaimer. If you're in survival mode, you have to bring materials for a portal up here, because if you can't break bedrock, you are stuck up here forever. So make sure that you have obsidian and a flint and steel. If you ever do make this mistake where you forget your portal, you have to kill yourself to get back down, which is not fun. But anyways, let's carry on. So what you're gonna do is build up really high in the sky. I want to say your Y coordinate should be around 200. You want to be really far away from the actual ground. Okay, we are definitely high enough, so let's begin building. Take out your magma blocks, and we're gonna go out in one direction by about 5 or 6 blocks. Now this is going to be the width of one of your spawning platforms. So now just make it really long. I'd say about 10 to 20 blocks long is pretty good. It's up to you, but the longer the more efficient. Then just fill it in. Okay, that is one spawning platform done. So now on each long side, you're going to come off by 2 blocks. You can now break that connecting block and leave that last block there and put a trap door on it. Now the basic idea is to put like a turtle egg over there and have zombie piglins spawn up here. Then they'll try and chase this thing and they'll fall off and die. Don't worry about the egg yet, I just wanted to show you guys how it works. But the first thing you want to do is just line a giant wall from this block all the way to that block full of trap doors. Now this part is by far the most tedious part, but it's super important that we do this. Okay, this layer's wall is done, so now I can break the blocks behind here, and I'm gonna start placing down turtle eggs. Now you're gonna want your turtle eggs to be one above your spawning platform behind the trap doors, so very simply, it would be these top ones here. Now you could do a turtle egg on every single block, but if you're in survival, you can space it out, do like every 2 or 3 or so, but you wanna get as many in here as you can. I'm just gonna do every single block as a turtle egg because I'm in creative, but again, this might be a little bit too much for a survival player. And once again, to demonstrate, I spawn in some zombie piglins, and they are all gonna push these turtle eggs and fall up. Well, that's why you have to be careful with this farm. Okay, make sure the trap doors go too higher than the actual platform. That should have been obvious, my bad. Okay, let's try it again, and we're good. Okay, perfect. I know that was really funny, but honestly, be careful about that. Make sure your trapdoors go high enough, because if you're in survival mode, that's going to be the most annoying thing ever if all your eggs get stomped. So now, just do the exact same design on the other side. Now let's talk about expanding this farm. You could either go higher up and stack it, or stack more on the sides. I recommend you do both, but let's start out by stacking it upward. So to stack it upward, you're just gonna go up 3 blocks, break these 2 bottom ones, and do the exact same design. But make sure, guys, as you saw earlier, that the trapdoors extend all the way up. You do not want to make this mistake twice. Alright, this side here is officially double stacked, but don't forget your extra eggs. Once again, it is 1 above the standing platform and it's behind the trapdoors. And that is how you vertically stack this farm. So now, let's talk about horizontally stacking it. So remember this, the eggs are 2 over and 1 up from the spawn platform. So go on the other side and do the inverse. Go 2 over, then 1 down, and boom, this is your spawn platform right over here. So now, all you gotta do is mirror that layer over there with this layer, and then just put more trapdoors over this side. And look at that, you already have eggs placed down for you. And boom, just like that, we have 6 spawning platforms, and I can just put all these pigmen down to illustrate they all should be going for the egg. Now, sometimes you might have guys like this who just sit here and don't do anything. Just give them time. As they wander around, they eventually will try and push the egg. Now, once you get back down to the ground, you're going to see there's a lot of loot down here. So if you want to collect this loot in a more efficient way, take out some hoppers and just make some rows right between where the egg drops are. So for example, I'll go right here in this little slit, and I'll fall straight down, and I'll put down hoppers right here like this. Now this whole hopper part's pretty simple. Just put down rows where they're going to fall and leave it be. Now guys, I want to emphasize, the number of platforms you have directly impacts your efficiency with this farm. So I recommend you do a lot more than this, but if you don't want that much gold, I guess this is fine, but I definitely recommend doing a lot more. But anyways, now it's time to discuss what you have to do to get this farm working. It's all about where you are AFKing at. If you AFK near the ground, some of the mobs in the normal nether under the bedrock, they're going to start spawning down there too. We don't want that. We want only mobs to be spawning up here. That way you get more mobs in your farm. So to fix this issue, we're going to build up really high above the farm and AFK up there. Think about it, it's simple math. If a certain number of mobs are going to spawn in the world, but they can only spawn near you, make sure the only place near you is your farm. Now once you're up here, you could make a base, but mobs could spawn on the base, so that might not be a good idea. I recommend just doing 1 pillar, to be honest with you. And it might be hard to see because we're so high up, but guys, I promise you, the rates are much better up here. And that is that, guys. That's how you build an amazing gold farm in Minecraft. I hope you like it. If you have any questions, comment them down below. Now, most of my viewers are not subscribed, so if you like my videos and you're not subbed, make sure you change that, okay? But regardless, make sure to like, subscribe, do all the good stuff, and I will talk to you guys next time. So until then, goodbye.